Death is a sacred pathway. The life we live should be as interesting and as much fun and satisfying and comforting and filled with love and joy and adventures as our death. And I've questioned this a lot because what I've seen so much here in Vilcabamba, I really never saw much death before in my life. But here in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, the Valley of Longevity, there are so many older people. I mean, we have deaths all the time because so many people come here because it's called the Valley of Longevity, and all kinds of scientists have looked into it. And they've all decided it's because of the air and the water and the calmness and everything. They've just decided there's no way to put a finger on it. And I believe that. I believe that I came here with incredible colitis since I was 16 years old, and I don't have it now. I think that's irritable bowel syndrome, if you're wondering. And it doesn't seem like a little thing, but it's a big thing to me. And another thing, I never had fingernails in my life. I've got fingernails. I have fingernails. It's just knowing that here I am, almost 80, when predictions were that I'd be gone between 30 and 50. And I'm enjoying life so much. And yet, I've watched some of my friends go, and it's made me very, very sad, because we don't look at death in the way that we should. And what's happened is, I had a friend who had her 5th bout with cancer. And she was a dear friend because her father was also military, and she was black, and we used to say we had the same dad because there was so much alike about them. And we felt like sisters. I mean, it was so beautiful. And I loved her so much. And yet she lived so far from me that I didn't know what was really going on. She was on YouTube to the very end, to the absolute very end. I mean, it was, and she had a gorgeous end of life experience with 2 very, very dear friends of mine, and that was perfect. But what she left behind for everybody else here was unbelievable. She had no will. She had no passwords written anywhere. In fact, one of our friends did a whole long thesis on death and dying in Vilcabamba, so that people could put together a package. And my package, my husband and I's, each package is about 100 pages of information to help people afterwards. No, we didn't know how to reach her family. We didn't know anything. We didn't know how to get in her computer. And it was the 5th time she'd had cancer. And it's because English-speaking people don't face death in the same way. We just don't. We're afraid to talk about it like it's contagious. Is death contagious? No, it's something we all have. Come on, let's be real about this. You know, we all die. All our pets die. Every insect, animal, and tree at some time dies. We've got to get this through ourselves. We've just got to get to a better place. Especially now, because there's so much confusion going on, and I just cry every time I see another military person come back dead. I was always afraid my father would die. He went to World War II, and he was in the Korean War, and he had a very, very, very dangerous job in the military. Every day was air refueling in the sky without the plane stopping. It was very dangerous, and yet he died at home. You don't know how it's going to happen, but what you do know is what you can do. When a person is facing death, send them pictures of flowers. Take them for a walk, or take pictures outside and bring them in and show to them. Give them an opportunity to still be in life. Tell them jokes. Give them books or read books to them. Spend some time with them. It's not contagious. Bring the grandkids to visit. Bring a pet to visit. Pets are great gifts. I used to take my corgi to the Veterans Hospital. It was such an exciting thing to do. And I used to go and sing Christmas carols to nursing homes. I loved it. I had a piano player who would play for me, and I would just sing and sing and get everybody else to sing. Not that it was a good voice, it was just such an exciting thing to do. And I used to take my pets too. There are so many things we can do to make the whole process of transition a sacred pathway, a place of love and joy and kindness and legacy. I know when I was very, very young, I was in my early 20s, when my ex-husband's grandparents were dying. Nobody wanted to do anything for them. And it was so difficult because I was living in that suburb of Chicago, and the weather was just horrendous. And she had terrible dementia, and she had horrid arthritis, and the grandfather was even more incapacitated. And I remember one time she called me and she wanted some strange spice of some kind. It was one I had rarely used, and she insisted that she had to have it that day. And I finally said to her, "Okay, Grandma, I'll bring it over." And not knowing, because I really didn't. I had no idea. I was just a child, really. I mean, I was in my early 20s, and I had no experience. I had not been around my grandparents. My parents were young when I was married, and so I just said, "Okay, Grandma, I'll bring it to you." And she was content. But she forgot, and there was a horrible, horrible storm, and roads were blocked, and trees were down, and it was a horrible ice storm in the middle of winter. And I didn't know what else to do, and I felt like I was lying to her, and I felt so bad, because so many times we'd get together, and she would go through her photography books and talk to me about the people. It was beautiful. In fact, one of the most beautiful experiences I had is with my husband. My husband was a theater professor after he was in the military, and he wrote a play. It was called Douglas, Arizona, the First 100 Years. And the way he presented it, I was in the play, it was really fun. There was this old lady I mean, she was really an old woman, a very tiny little thing, very frail. She sat at the front of the stage next to a child, and she would open this book and talk about something that was a picture book that was in the photographs. And then on stage, we would do things that had to do with what she was doing. Oh, it was so much fun. I loved it so much. And it was outdoors, which I adore. I love being outdoors. It was in a park. It was very casual. There was no fees. It was free. Oh, gosh, it was such a great memory, just a great memory. And she was just absolutely delighted to be invited to do this whole play. I don't know how she held up. I mean, she was one of the oldest people in the entire area, right on the border of Mexico. But she was just as enthusiastic. It could be all the way to the end. And of course, the little child, the little girl, she just loved it. It was a fabulous experience, and I hope that you will think about this. Think about talking to someone who's dying. Think about asking them what they want. My husband is not about death at all. He doesn't want to discuss it. And it's so difficult because I want to do what he wants. And in the meantime, I I do anything I possibly can to make him as comfortable and happy as I can, to give him as much joy as absolutely possible in any way I can think of. But I also give him hell too. Don't think I'm the perfect caregiver, because no one is. We all have an endpoint when we say, wait, listen, I need to do this. Someone else is going to watch you for a little while. You have to. You have to, or you lose your mind. And you wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. You wouldn't be able to make these videos. You wouldn't be able to share this information with other people. You wouldn't be able to put this out to the world. No, you would be so worn out, exhausted, and unable to go on. So let's be smart. Let's take care of each other. Let's share love. Let's express with each other the love that we have in each of our hearts for everyone else. If you have any questions for me, reach me down here. Or if this transfers like it should, there'll be a listing at the end for SKOOL for caregivers and people who've experienced trauma. It's a healing program. It's free, so check it out. Thank you.